Hello and welcome to day 111 of the 1000 Days of No Code series. By now, you already know what make.com is all about and how it lets you visually create automation. But before we get into advanced workflows, there are some inbuilt tools available in Make that can make your life easier when building automations using make.com. Today, we are going to explore the tools section of Make platform so that we understand how do we use variables, formatters, functions, and other built-in utilities. That will help you process and modify data effortlessly. Understanding these tools will make our automation journey even simpler. So let's dive in. Okay, so let's understand about tools. For that, let me click on this plus and we have tools available, which are built-in functions of Make. So I'll select that. Then you can see we can get multiple variables, get variable, increment function, right? Set multiple variables, set variable, and so on and so forth. We can also use delay, which is basically called sleep in Make. We can also do numeric aggregators, table aggregators, text aggregators, right? And compose a string, convert the encoding of a text. Okay, and then we also have switches, which is switch the output based on the input, right? So we'll see some of the basic tools available. Okay, to begin with, we can use set variable. Let's assume that we want to create a variable which can then be used in multiple steps. Okay, this could be one of the outputs from here, something like, let's say, text original, right? So variable name can be comment. We are doing this with the YouTube commenting automation that we did, right, with OpenAI. So I'm creating a variable called comment, and the variable value is text original. So I'll click on save, right? If I go to the next step, let's say this particular step, I'm going to push this over here. So for that, I'm going to unlink this. I'm going to unlink this. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move this here. So again got linked. So let me unlink it again. I'm getting it over here. This has got linked. I'll move this over here and everything is got linked, right? Now, instead of getting the comments directly from this particular step, I'm going to get that from variable. Okay, so you can see here variable we have created and that's available for us to use, right? You can do it this way as well. Now, you might wonder, what's the point? Why can't I use the original text directly from YouTube? Why do I have to create variable? Now, this is like a function, right? It need not be just one text. I can also add multiple text like video ID, channel ID, and so on and so forth. So if you are combining 2 or 3 things together, okay, let's say I'll add some timing texts in between, right? So let's assume that I'm doing this multiple things in between, right? I'll first disable this because it is linked to our YouTube channel. I do not want something to go on as a response to somebody's comment. Okay, so I'm combining these 2 or 3 parameters together and creating a variable, and this variable can be used at multiple places without me having to do this combination every time I want to use it. Okay, point number 1. Point number 2, when you're creating a very complex workflow, you want variables which can be handy, right? So I've created one variable here. We can also create multiple variables by clicking on tools and then set multiple variables, right? So you can add item. I can call variable name variable 1. What is the value? Okay, this could be, let's say, channel ID. Add the next item, call it as variable 2. And this could be text original, right? And so on and so forth. So in further steps, you can keep using these variables. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We can go to tools and get variable. So it'll ask us what is the variable name. I can say comment. Click on save, right? So we are going to get this output. So if I go here, let's say OpenAI again, I select the same thing. We've already got the connection method model, let's say 4.5. I'm just showing you what are the tools that we have. I can say this as Of course, developer system and all is required. I'm just directly going to user. Content can be this commit, right? So we'll get the variable comments value, okay, that we have set. Likewise, we can also fetch multiple variables, okay. So whatever I'm doing right now might not make any sense because I'm just adding and showing you what are the various tools that are available. You have to think where you can use it and how you want to use it, right? I'm just giving you some functionality that is available. So let's go to tools again. Increment function. You can see that returns a value of 1 after first run. So when you run this particular flow, let's say 3 times, the first time it runs, it will have a value of 1. When it runs the second time, it will have a value of 2. When it runs the third time, it will have a value of 3. Okay. So if you want to do some incremental option, then this is the function that you have to use, right? So you just use it this way and reset a value. If you want to reset it after one cycle, after one scenario run and so on and so forth, you can do it. If you click on never, it will never reset, right? So let's say you're creating invoices, right? So first time it runs, it will be invoice 1. Second time it runs, it should be invoice 2 and so on and so forth. So it should actually understand how many times the entire workflow has run. So this is what will help you in generating those numbers dynamically, one after the other, right? So let's go to the next one. Again, tools. We have sleep delay, but we have a separate video to be done on that, so we will come there. Aggregators are slightly complex. We will not cover it in this video. Let's go to compose a string, right? So we can use this. It asks you what is the string that you want to combine together, right? So I can say channel ID is, and then channel ID, and then I can also add and with comment, and it was, I can say text original on, let's say the date, right? Updated. So this is the text that you have created. So if you want to use it in the next step, you can use that particular text that you have composed. Let's go to tools again. And you have convert the encoding of a text. Converts a text from one code page to another. Again, something complex. So we will skip this one up. We go to switch, right? So you have input value. Let's say input is 1, 2, 3, right? Now you can add a case here and say pattern. So we need to add an input here. We can use switch for the example that we saw in Public Connect for routers, right? So we could give the experience level over here. Okay, experience level could be the input over here. Okay, and based on the experience level, if it is 0 to 1, then the output is, we can give text. We can have a different output here. Okay, this could be for subject, this could be for body, whatever it is. Add the second case, and here you can say this is for 1 to 3. What is the output? And the third one where it is from 3 to 5, and what's the output, and so on and so forth, right? So input can be the dynamic values, okay, which is coming from any of the steps that has happened prior to this step. And here is the static values. So you can say if this value is this, then the output is this. If value is this, then the output is this, and so on and so forth, right? So this is a switch case kind of thing, okay? And if none of this match, let's say the input does not match any of the cases that we've created, then we can say what should be the output. Okay, this can also be created. So these are the tools that you might want to use regularly based on the situation. I hope this was helpful. And that's a quick overview of the tools available in Make. You can use these tools for any of your automations between trigger and action, or between any two actions as well. You can use this multiple times wherever needed as well. Now, whether you need to store data in variables, format text, or manipulate numbers, you have the right tools at your fingertips. As we move into more advanced Make workflows, you will see how these tools comes in handy. Tomorrow, we'll switch gears and look into iterators in Public Connect, a super useful tool for handling multiple records dynamically. If you found this video helpful, drop a comment below and let me know which make tool are you most excited to start using. That's all for today, and I will see you in the next one.